big hello and a very warm welcome to Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. It's that time of the year when it's time to have the difficult conversation and ask some tough questions. Well, if you haven't got it by now, I'm talking about Goafest 2017. Now, for the uninitiated, Goafest's biggest problem has been non-participation of a few heavyweight agencies. Over the years, a lot of discussion and deliberation has taken place, but unfortunately, the outcome left a lot to be desired. Now, as we approach Goafest 2017, one can't help but notice that the situation has gone from bad to worse. This year, almost all heavyweight agencies have decided not to participate, barring a couple. We, as watchdogs of the industry, couldn't turn a blind eye, despite attempts made from the advertising industry bodies to ask us just to do so. We may have different opinions, but shying away from a conversation is never the answer. So as things move from bad to worse, we thought we must have a no-holds-barred conversation that is transparent and straight from the heart. So today I'm joined by eminent men from the advertising industry to discuss just why things are not okay. Is there a solution at all? Is there a point of the festival anymore? And do non-participating agencies have a valid grouse at all? On that note, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us, taking time out and having the courage to come here and have a frank conversation. I think you're worth saluting. At the outset, I must bring about an important point here. While I was inviting all of you to be part of this panel, we also invited the men on top of the ad club, the AAASFI, and of course the Goafest committee, just so that they could be here and also give us their opinion of what they've tried, what they've changed, and what is their point of view on the number of agencies that are not participating. Almost everybody agreed. However, there was a last-minute decision that they decided that, they will not have any conversation that will put Goafest in a negative light. They also have made a decision that there was no point engaging with non-participating agencies because they were, trying to mollycoddle them too much, and they've done so for so many years, so there's no point, and hence there should be no conversation at all. And they also told us that we as the media should focus on the bright spots of Goafest 2017 and not bother and turn a blind eye to almost 10 non-participating agencies. So with that, I'd like to get this discussion going. So I'm going to start with you, the gentleman, and you, Aggie, with you guys who are actually participating. Given the fact that we have so many top agencies in the country not participating, why did you feel the need to still participate? Why did you find it still relevant to actually go to Goafest?
We enter award shows because we want to recognize the good work that our people have done. And I think recognition is not a bad thing. And if two big industry bodies have come together and made Goafest what it is, and they've been going for a long time, why should you not celebrate the talent that we have at possibly India's biggest stage as far as the advertising awards are concerned? And to me, if you recognize the work that we are doing, if you celebrate the work that the industry is doing, you get some fame, not just for our people, but for our brands, our clients, and for the agency. Why should that be a bad thing? And as you said, we have been participating, I think, for a long time, whether we have been winning or not winning. There were many years we didn't win, but there have been the last 3 years that we have won. So we participate largely because we want to recognize the talent that we have in the industry and our agents.
Right, Pops, I just want to come to you. Do you think Goafest is still celebrating creativity? And honestly, do you really think it is the best stage we have? Or do you think it's just become a joke of sorts?
There are two things, we are in a unique situation. Nowhere in the world you see industry bodies running award shows.
Okay.
It is run by profit-making companies, correct? All of them are profit-making companies or private institutions, correct? In India, we have got two big or three big industry bodies who are actually running it. So therefore, it becomes apparent for all the agencies to support, because it's an industry body, it's not a private one, So therefore, the intent was, why don't we bring Goafest, 3SFI, and then ad club together, and in some way, whatever way we can bring in IAA also, bring everybody together, make the platform larger, and then celebrate creativity instead of competing. Two industry bodies cannot compete. Two competitors can compete because industry will get divided if two industry bodies were to compete. So that was the noble intention, when the merger has happened. So that is one part of it. Second is life moves on, correct? And what we consider as the traditional, non-traditional, big agencies, small agencies, all the walls are collapsing across the world. What we need to look at is the positive side of it. Negative side of it, 10 of the biggest agencies are not participating. The positive side of it is 150 to 200 young agencies are participating.
Fair enough. Before I come to you, Aggie, let me just bring, the men who seem to have lost the belief in this festival. Firstly, why aren't you participating?
When we say that you are not participating, I think that's a misconception. We are participating in the festival, but the award night where there people might have issues. Now, in particular, in my case, it is completely democratic in McCann. We ask creative directors, writers, art directors, all other creative people to decide, vote democratically that they want to participate in any festival, whether it's a regional award show, whether it's a worldwide award show. If they feel they should participate, and there is a limited budget which is assigned. After that, we take a decision.
So I guess that your agency, the creative fraternity of your agency, did not have any belief in this. But my larger question is, why is there no belief? Why do you feel that they have no belief?
There's no positioning and clarity in terms of what you are celebrating. It should not be decisions of two senior people sitting in a room because I am under pressure from industry. Guys, you have to enter. I do not think that's the right approach.
So, would you be in agreement with that? And Bobby, what's your reason for not entering?
The global strategy for work, right? Sure. It says, hey, pick your 1, 2 the thing and put your limited resources in that.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what the thing is. He said, okay, you know what? Let's step back and listen. When he said that, I didn't hear a single protest. The reason for that is one simple thing. I think the people who lead this industry have failed the award shows.
Sure.
Okay. Award shows jury don't work like legal juries, right? People do not want to be judged by their peers. They want to be judged by their betters. Okay. We've got, and I've said this time and again, so I'm going to sound like a stuck record, right? I think we've got some 120 people in creative juries. I've judged this thing, right, where there've been people on my jury who have not won a single award in that category. How does anybody respect that? And I think it's like people like me, right, the senior creative guys who would be blamed for this. Because if we had, the entire show was judged by 25, 30 people who won at the highest level, but we need to spend 4 days a week. Haven't been raise my hand to do that? No. So, you know what? I'm freaking guilty. And maybe some others are as well.
Fair enough. Fair point. Aggie, I'd like to get you. So you've heard both sides. You're a participating agency. I want you to respond to A, what Bobby has said, I think, which is quite deep. And B, I also want you to, give me your view on whether you think what Prasoon said, that the positioning of Goafest, Abby's, what it's looking for is all over the place and there is no positioning. Do you think that statement holds true?
I think from what Prasoon was saying, what is different in Goafest? For Goafest, it's the only Indian award. So its position is that it's work that's worked in India for that year. And I think, like judging movies for me, whether it is an idea that's great or craft that's great or whether it's, the popularity with the masses, these are all subjects on a mark sheet. Any one of them could score high and pull your piece up. We can't have a fixed thing saying if you're good in math, then this is the Math Olympics. If you're good in science, you go and take part in that award. Because we have only one. We have nothing to choose from. So I don't know what positioning we need versus somebody else. As far as the global award positionings are concerned versus ours, yeah, it's work that plausibly should have, be doing well in India, and sometimes work that probably breaks through new clutter but has not had the time or the money to run in India to show that it's worked in India also can win. But otherwise, I think what Bobby answered his own question by saying, and I've been asked many times to recommend judges to the jury. It's a self-defeating prophecy where the lesser agencies take part because you can't take judges from those agencies. You have lesser agency judges to pick from. So now, this year, for example, if you have to choose judges, half the industry is not there. So if your seniors are from there and somebody would want their work to be judged by you or you, they can't have you there because there's nobody taking part.
If there is a huge amount of pressure from youngsters to enter, no agency can refuse. People come, even clients come to us and say, please enter this work in Cannes Festival. Okay, please make sure that my work goes to Cannes Festival. Such is the pull of the festival. Such is the prestige of winning that award show. So let's face it, there is a certain dilution which has happened, and I'm not at all, blaming it on the organizer. I think they have been doing their best. They've been trying very hard. Kudos to them. But this is a little more sensitive issue than you can say that, oh, why not celebrating the work? I mean, you don't believe in it, so be it. No, it's not as easy. I think it's a more sort of complex issue where certain things have happened with Goafest in past. Certain stands were not taken correctly, or the procedures of filtrations have not been, the residuals of that have not yet died. So people, there is a little bit of evaluation which is required. On the other hand, what Pop said, I think young agencies which are coming, and I really welcome that they are coming, and they're hot shops and small shops which are participating, relevant to them. It's very, very important that they do. But I think it would be great if everybody does. But let's not make such a big issue out of this. Even Cannes would not, run after an agency that this year they didn't send many entries. They would probably question that in their head, but it will not become such an issue.
There I agree with Prasoon. I'm saying if they don't want to participate, how can you force people to participate? Though I don't understand, because as you said, there are young people in various organizations and they travel from one organization to the other. The young people that are working in our organization, and Senthil isn't here and he'll corroborate that, they are very keen on Goafest and they want to be recognized. In fact, they would be keen to participate in as many festivals as possible. Young people need that encouragement. So, and again, I'm saying this is my point of view. And the other thing about being democratic, well, ultimately we are an organization, and I think Senthil takes a call in consultation with his NCDs and his creative directors, which awards to enter or not enter.
Over the last few years, have different managing committees who've been at the helm asked, let's say much before the festival, asked for an open house with all the top creative directors in the country,
every year,
and say that let's resolve this.
But
and it happened this year.
yes, the meetings happen maybe a month or so before, or 2 months before the festival.
Sure.
It's helpful if it happens a month after the festival happens, because then you can decide what to do, right? You can game plan what systems are you using and decide exactly the dates, right? And this is when judging is going to happen. And he said, hey, you know what, if you're going to have 30 people in the thing, there are 30 people, and you block your time now, right? Make commitment. If you have to make change, and some deep change, you have to have more than 2 months head start to do it. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, couple of things though. I want to just Goafest. I think there are two parts to it. There's the award show, there's the festival. Even in the award show, there are multiple parts, right? There's the media, there's publishers, and creators. The media and publishers doing work.
Always a full house.
Yeah, right.
Always.
And Goafest itself, I think that's a laudable thing, right? It's the only time when the entire industry gets together and feel like an industry and celebrate itself. To make that happen, people need to give time and give the effort, make those commitments. That may not have always happened. And like I said, I'll be first to admit my own guilt in that matter.
No, what I'm saying, Bobby, and what you're saying is the fault lies with us, And we should all, and what Pops was
Exactly,
saying,
exactly.
ultimately this is the industry, there are two industry bodies, and this is, as Aggie says, this is the only show in the country. And yes, we can keep comparing ourselves to Cannes and to DN80, but this is the only, as they say on their site, the Oscars of Indian advertising, right? And to me, it's incumbent on us, and by not participating is not really the way to get around solving issues.
I don't think we are
narrowing, what advertising was 15 years back. Today advertising has changed. If you see any award show everywhere, even New York festivals to Cannes to everywhere, what we call as mainstream traditional advertising work is getting reduced. And then what is emerging is mobile, internet, innovation, media, branded content. There are a lot of other things. Therefore, who is the festival targeting today at?
any festival, forget advertising, is only richer when the best work that the festival caters to is represented in it. So then you can't deny that. Right?
The only limited point that Pops is making, and I have sympathy for what he's saying, is that compared to 10 years ago, the number of people who are putting in their work in creative, including at Cannes now, today technology is actually the buzzword.
But you
right?
can't host an Olympics without your top athletes.
No, I'm saying the point that Pops is making, and I'm saying is new athletes are coming in and they are participating in.
See, we start judging everything by saying the whole world is going digital. At the same time, you quote figures and say, well, television seems to be still important. Suddenly, we seems to be getting swayed away by the fact that television is irrelevant. Yes, whenever I'm in New York, I keep hearing death of 30 seconds, death of 30 seconds. When I come back here and meet my client, 30 seconds comes alive and stands tall in front of me. Now, the fact is, are we taking cognizance of this differentiation between the world market and our market, or we are just replicating the categories we suddenly introduced in Cannes, suddenly introduced elsewhere in the world, say, oh, we have also become completely non-traditional. It is not. We are still at the cusp of this traditional and non-traditional. Again, we are getting into the ball game. What Bobby said, it takes a lot of time to prepare from an award show. Why does it become prepare? Because why can't you just flip it for a while and say, okay, fine, there's no entry required. No entry required. We'll take it from the market and we will make sure that great work is awarded. Why some radical changes? Why the way of looking at awards is still a lens which was set some 50, 60 years back by someone out there in the world, and we are still following and just adding up to it?
According to me, Sonali, the emotional pressure on agencies in the last 10 or 15 years for awards started when what we are all using a very nice word called celebrating. It's not a celebration, okay? It started from being a celebration. Globally, there was so much pressure in agencies that we've all been in on winning awards. It became a contest. From the contest, it's now become an exam. You go there, you pass or you fail. And no kid wants to appear for an exam. Because the emotional pressure that media and clients put, oh, you didn't win a Goafest, or you lost to XYZ company, then becomes success and failure. Rather than go and say, I want to see which other guy beat me or not beat me.
Sure.
So it is now today seen by the younger kids as an exam in which you could fail. So why, if you have a chance of not appearing in the exam, I'll take it.
Very valid point.
I think we are almost disrespecting. I'm sorry, Aggie. Young people have got much more courage
But it's
than
not
what
about
they.
young people, right?
Not taking an exam.
Because
Why?
they're not making the decision.
No. To my mind, that's what I'm saying. As JWT as an agency, we have been participating in Goafest for a very long time. Aggie has been there with us. Many years we never won. And then last 3 years we have won. That doesn't mean we don't participate. There are many award shows that we participate and we don't win.
20 years back, India was not at the global stage. Thanks to the gentleman who was sitting there, put India onto the global map.
Sure.
At that point in time, every global agency said, "Ghar pe jeeto," win at home, correct? Prove that you can do it. So we use the local awards to really prepare for the international ones, correct? That is when everybody said, yeah, are we international, Indian, where are we, what are we doing, 3 years of ad club, what you stand for. Now, that last 15 years, there is no award, there is no Grand Prix which India has not won. Now, India is carrying the reputation of their global offices on their shoulders. Now they are saying, it is important for you to win international awards, Concentrate on that. Ignore your national award where you're spending time and money.
Are you saying from a strategy point of view, and none of you all are in
Yeah,
philanthropy?
awards is a big strategy.
Are you saying from a business strategic point of view, Goafest does not fit into your scheme of things?
Ask gun report. Goafest does not feature in gun report. No international guy will give anything if it is not there in the gun report. Gun report is the biggest spoiler, because gun report, whatever gun reports includes, those award shows stock goes up. You will get extra funding from the global offices saying that must enter. Whether it is some all-star awards in Korea, does not matter. If it is there in the gun report, you must enter.
I think we're all talking about it like as CSY's awards or Goafest awards or everyone's. Actually, they're everyone's awards.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And the point is, therefore, then everyone needs to be invited to participate in a sense of even in shaping the award. Why is jury being selected by a bunch of arbitrary people, faceless people, right? Somebody makes a phone call and then to you, and then you decide 4 people from your agency, whatever. Why can't you throw open the jury selection the thing to everybody in the industry? All the young kids, all the creatives in the industry, they can't vote for their own agency people. That's all. So, 30 people. So, I think what you have to do is just involve young people more in shaping the award shows.
5 or 6 years ago, when Prasoon and all were on the jury, correct? More or less, when it was reasonably better. What different jury would you get? You would get the same that jury is what you would get. They started dropping out because the participation and some rules that you can't.
My only thing is, let's not have 120 odd people. Right?
But we think there are 120 odd people.
How can you even it's impossible. So every this thing they in advertising itself, right? There would be about 10-12 categories, each of which has 10 jury members. 120 people.
No, there is a point. There is a point Bobby is making about who is judging the award. I think that is the point which is trying to make.
Who is judging? When are they worthy of judging? Why does FEs work then?
Again, it's coming to the philosophy and definition and positioning or whatever you call. It's very clearly carved out. An FE award is very clearly saying that we need figures, we need the campaign effectiveness, and we are celebrating the effectiveness. If you see FE cases, some of them would and a lot of them would not win a creative award. Okay, so you know that what are they looking for? That's why you don't see any lack of enthusiasm for FEs, because there is a need for something like that. Now, when it comes to Goa Festival, I think, and this is just a humble suggestion, it could become the DNA of India, where it is for creative people to really look for great craft. Because effectiveness has already been celebrated, let's look for great craft.
To make that happen, we should be in the committee.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct?
So
If you don't want to be...
Not participating is hardly the solution.
But how many of you all would be willing to stand for elections and be part of these committees?
No, I don't think being part of the committee is a solution. The solution is that the committee listens to everybody. Right now, there's a feeling that they don't listen. They tell them do this, they don't do this. So if Prasoon says this or somebody else says this, if all 40 maybe who are there vote on it and it comes out on top, then they have to implement.
I do not think that you need to not have a Goa Fest or go to Goa and spend 3 days ideating. There are 365 days in a year. All I'm saying is the attitude of ours should be to solve an issue, to resolve an issue, rather than saying, oh, we are not participating. CANS is very good, DNAD is very good, this is very bad. And I'm saying we have been part of this industry for so many years. If there are issues, if 2 industry bodies which have separate awards could actually come together to solve and resolve issues, well, I'm sure we can. And I actually think it is incumbent on us. I do not agree that it's not a celebration. I think it's a celebration, it's recognition. Awards actually recognize the talent of young people. So to me, why should we sit on the fence and say, okay, let these guys play, I don't like the rules? Well, if you want, be part of the committee, change the rules. It's our industry.
I think a lot of points have come out today, some of which we've discussed, some I think we've brushed under the carpet. And of course, we can't get a resolution on a 30-minute show. But the fact of the matter is, I think there are some pertinent points. I hope people have heard all the points that have been made. I think it's important that you don't do things for the sake of it. And right now, Goafest to me seems to be still pushing, living in denial when you know your top players are out of the game. I think the top players also accept that they are to blame, that they have not, you know, gone out, reached out and say, let's do this together. I think both parties are to blame. And so I hope that, you know, with this conversation, with an open mind, I hope Goafest 2018, whether it takes place as just a creative jamboree of the top minds of this industry, figuring out how to take it forward, or it actually goes on to become one of our best award shows. I think something needs to be done, but it can't go on just like this. On that note, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, keep it real.